scrolling through my video game collection videos. Yes, obviously there's not an infinite amount of these we can do, but I will actually explain there might be a way that we continue on this series if you guys continue to support it. If you guys give this video a thumbs up, if we get enough thumbs up, enough love on tonight's video, I will 1000% continue on with this series, but in a different way. I'll tell you guys about that a little bit later in the video, but make sure you guys do that, and maybe comment down below your favorite video game you're playing right now, your favorite game in the future, maybe a game that you see that you really connect with, you vibe with, you like. Definitely let me know down below in the comments. And you know what, let's just kind of get started. Started with tonight's ASMR video. Alrighty guys, so we have here, kind of the general area that we left off last time we did the previous part of this tracing whisper ramble of these video games that I have. I do have my handy dandy trusty pen here, which you guys have really enjoyed the tracing videos recently. And we are around this area, so I kind of blew past a lot of these games up in this little region because it was getting close to the end of the video, a longer video. I kind of wanted just to scroll to them kind of more quickly. I might go back and talk to them a little bit more. Like Jedi Fallen Order, I didn't talk too much about, and literally has been one of my favorite games. And also the Star Wars Jedi series that they're doing has been one of my favorite new series of video games in a very long time. Now, of course, there's only two of them with your boy Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis is the main protagonist, but man, this game was and has been extremely fun. I play it again from time to time. The second game is also pretty good. I think we showed it a little bit earlier in the video series, I should say, and I really hope they continue to make more of them. I'm a huge fan of single game video games, I guess you can call it that, as you can probably tell from a lot of my video games here in the collection, maybe besides, I don't know, Fall Guys, I guess technically, Call of Duty, Battlefield. A lot of my games are just single player video games, and obviously it being one of my favorite things of all time, Star Wars. Man, do I hope they make more of these. I do think this one is not significantly better, but it's a lot better than the second one that just recently come out. I can't wait for them to make more. Skyrim was another game that we kind of blew past kind of quickly, and some of you even commented on Skyrim and being like, whoa, wait, that's actually really dope. Well, of course, I played Skyrim. And let's see if you guys can see this. A gamer has not played Skyrim. I mean, it's like almost a rite of passage to play Skyrim, to be sort of like a gamer, I guess you want to call him that. And yeah, I've put, man, hundreds of hours into this game. I'm not kidding. Now, obviously, if you look at my tally of hours on this game, it may not tell you that, but between definitely Xbox 360 and the newer consoles, I've definitely put in many hours into this game, and all the mods you can put into it, and having a wife and building a house and all the side quests and missions and little caves and stuff you can do. It's just my perfect, almost, do I want to call it my perfect video game? I just love open world single player games like that, and this is just the perfect version of it. Now, the online version, not a big fan of. Not really at all. I've only played a couple hours of it, and it doesn't give me the same vibe. But now we're going to be in some of the more newer games we're going to be talking about, like, of course, my favorite video game of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2, which I've mentioned it many times before in my videos prior. But let's move on to some new games. The last game we talked about in my last video was Ghost of Tsushima, I think is how you pronounce it. Bring us over here to Mafia, the definitive edition. I don't know why it's the definitive edition, but it's Mafia. Mafia is a game that we actually talked about before, because there's another game I have on here called Mafia 3, where you play a character, a part of the Mafia. Context clues. This one is, I think, the first one, but just a little bit of an updated version of it. It's a little bit more of an actual sort of storytelling of a mafia gang, which is actually really dope. And the third one, you play someone who sort of is involved with a bunch of different other factions. This one is just you are just like the Godfather, basically, and you're basically just in that movie, and the story's really good, the storytelling's great, the gameplay's a little wonky. It's definitely trying to be GTA, but failing at it pretty hard, but it is fun. It just, it's a little dated, but of course they have an updated version of it. Quite honestly, in my opinion, one of the best PlayStation games of all time. Not only PlayStation 2, 3, 4, I meant to say 3 and 4, and now 5, but 2, 1, and just one of the best PlayStation games of all time. Probably the best superhero video game of all time. It's definitely up there for me with the Batman Arkham series. That's the Spider-Man game, this new one. I was a huge fan of the Spider-Man 2 video game that came out for the PlayStation 2. That's a game I played plentiful times back in the day. But this game, the open world sort of feel and vibe of New York City, the different customizations you can do with the abilities and the skins, the uniforms, the costumes you get in this game are amazing. Obviously they added more and more over time. I mean, the voice acting's really good, the storytelling's really good, like the actual story in the game is great. I don't want to spoil it, but like the Sinister Six kind of making an appearance and sort of the whole overcoming of that with just being, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is just so dope. I really love this game a lot, and again, I hope they continue to make more. In the second game, the second game they added Miles Morales, and now the third game, Spider-Man 2, adding Miles Morales with Spider-Man and them fighting side by side is amazing, and I hope they continue on making some great games for the Spider-Man series. We have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I actually did not play too much of. As someone who always says I'm just not that big of an anime fan, Dragon Ball Z has always been like a game in a series I always come back to. It's really the only anime I know anything about. Like I know the Cell Saga, Majin Buu, and all those crazy villain characters, some of the new ones like Beerus and whatnot, but it's only because of the video games. And Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is definitely a new sort of style or edition of the Dragon Ball series, because it's not like just a beat 'em up, button mashing style of game. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words here. I need to slow down a little bit. It's actually almost like an open world RPG where you play as a character and kind of run around, level up, upgrade. It's actually kind of interesting, but it's just not really for me. We have Borderlands 3, which we talked about Borderlands before. We also talked about how the game, is definitely... Do I want to say sorry? Nah. The movie flopped, and it was apparently really, really bad, so I don't know if I want to talk too much about it, but Borderlands 3 is really fun. It might be my favorite of the Borderlands series. I love shoot 'em and loot 'em games like Borderlands. These are games I always have in my arsenal because you can just delete them, re-download them, delete them, re-download them, play different classes, use different items and stuff like that. It's really a very fun and replayable game. I always love looting games like that. The next game we have here is Call of Duty Cold War. Call of Duty Cold War, I actually enjoyed the campaign. I guess if you didn't watch the previous episodes of this series, I gave my very spicy hot take of Call of Duty. Not the biggest fan of the Call of Duty games, just not the biggest fan of multiplayer games in general, like Call of Duty, where you're just kind of just playing multiplayer for 6 hours straight. I could never do that, but I did actually really enjoy all of the Call of Duty campaigns, and this one was no different. I thought it was really fun, kind of a different sort of way of the campaign being played, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm going to probably buy and play the newest Call of Duty game, is because I actually do enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns, which I might be the only person who does that. Anyways, the next set of games here we have Saints Row. No, this is not the first of the Saints Row games. This is a a video game or a movie where they just say it's the first one, but it's not really the first one, like the Xbox, and there's the Xbox One. It's kind of like this thing with Saints Row. It's not the first one. I think it might be the first one of the new generation of consoles that came out for the PlayStation 4 first, and then eventually the PS5. a game I played like the first hour, and I just really did not connect with the game, the characters, anything. I already did like Saints Row the Third, which I think is somewhere up in my collection somewhere. And I played that game a handful of times over again, and it's fun, it's witty, it's a good time, but I feel like Saints Row is kind of just like a dead series, to be honest. We have NBA 2K24, and yeah, this is the latest NBA 2K game, but I think as you guys are watching this, the newest NBA 2K will be out. Now, will Jacob Baller be buying NBA 2K25? That's to be answered at a different time. Right now, obviously, I can't, but maybe I will if you guys, again, maybe just absolutely just obliterate my comment section and maybe give this video some love. Maybe I'll have to play NBA 2K25, but really, to be honest, I don't really know anyone who really is excited to play this game series anymore, or even just play the game in general. Do I really want to spend almost $100 on a game that no one really wants to watch or see or do anything with? Who knows? You guys tell me. If you guys want me to, of course I will. Next game up here we have Dynasty Warriors number 9. I think we did talk about Dynasty Warriors before. Dynasty Warriors Empire, Dynasty Warriors All-Stars. It's just like a very almost like a anime style of fighting game where you're like battling like a huge army. You can see all these armies right down here, and you're just like one character, but you're like a god in the game, and you kind of just take out all these guys. You know, there's like some of the games have storylines to them too, and they're really fun, but they're really confusing. I don't really play for the story. I just play it because the idea of being one person and taking out like 1,000 soldiers is actually really fun, so give it a try if you're really bored one day. We have Dishonored number 2. We did talk about Dishonored the first game before. This is the second one, and it's the last one because it didn't do that good. The first Dishonored game was actually a lot of fun. It sort of gave a new sort of style on a stealth combat game. Sort of gives you a choice if you want to be very outgoing or maybe be a little bit more stealthy. I always try to be as stealthy as I possibly could. I remember playing this one and the first one and literally restarting levels because I got caught too much. It's kind of funny, but I love playing stealth games like that. This one wasn't that great. It was pretty much just like a big DLC of the first game. Like the context, the play style, it just didn't feel like another game. And then we have Planet Coaster, which I am the worst at these like tycoon video games, like games where you have to like build and wait and collect and wait and do stuff and wait and complete a mission and then wait. I'm not really a big fan of these styles of games. I'm also not creative enough to do anything crazy to make these willy-nilly, wacky, cool, creative roller coasters. I'm a pretty boring person, so I don't really have that great of an imagination. We have Far Cry 6, which Far Cry 5 is definitely my favorite one in the series. It's one of my favorite games of all time, actually, but Far Cry 6 was really hyped up because of this band right here. Los Bolos Hermanos. Never mind. That's the character from Breaking Bad. I don't remember his name, like the actor's name. But wow, the scenes that he were in were really good. The game was not good. It was mid. Thank goodness I didn't pay like a full price for this game or anything like that. But my goodness, the story was just everywhere. Kind of hard to follow. I didn't connect with any of the characters. They were all weird and kind of corny, a little bit awkward. I just didn't really feel the same vibe as I did from the previous Far Cry games, like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 5, even some of the other more lesser popular ones I thought were better than this one, but definitely cared with him being in there. We have Horizon Forbidden West. We did sorry, I don't know why I said tick. We talked about the first Horizon game, Horizon Dawn, I think that's what the first one is called, and this is the second one. Really hyped up game because the first one was actually pretty successful. It was a fun game. Again, we talked about it earlier. Second game did not hit. I actually didn't finish the second game at all. I played maybe no more than maybe like 2 gaming sessions of it, so maybe like 10 give or take hours, and again, just like a game I didn't really really hold on to. Maybe I'll go back and play it from start again and see if I can just give it another shot, but I didn't get the same sort of vibe and sort of the same atmosphere as the first game. We have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is it might be like a it's not a DLC, it's like almost like a secondary game to the Borderlands series. Kind of imagine if like the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, like sure, it's a standalone game, but it's not really a standalone game, it's just like a big DLC. We have Gotham Knights. To be honest, I feel like we've whispered about these games before in the past. Maybe not, maybe I'm just tripping. It feels like I'm having deja vu, maybe that's just me. Gotham Knights is, I'm assuming, a series that they really wanted to start on the Batman series. Of course, we had the Batman Arkham Batman games, and these new games wanted to be based off of the side characters of Batman, like Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. And it flopped pretty bad, and I think for sure it should have. This game was not what it was supposed to be at all. This game is a lot like this game. Great concept, an Avengers video game. Why would that not be successful? Gotham Knights, a Batman game with all the really fun, cool, exciting characters and sidekicks. Why wouldn't that be successful? It tried to be too multiplayer and online based. Like, even the story was kind of mid. Like, a lot of looting for some weird reason. I don't know how these developers mess up so much on such an easy concept of a game. Blows my mind, but they really missed it on this one too. The gameplay is alright, but man, they just missed it on the feel of the game. We have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't know if I like this one more than the other Assassin's Creed game we talked about in the last video, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They're both about the same, but they're both really good. Now, is this an Assassin's Creed game? Absolutely not. This game should just be called Valhalla, which I think there is a video game called Valhalla already, and this would be a great game. But the fact that it's an Assassin's Creed game makes zero sense. I hate it. They should just start making games that aren't Assassin's Creed, because that series died a long time ago. I mean, if this game was just called Valhalla, this game was just called Odyssey, it would make just way more sense. Don't worry, guys, we're almost done here. This is actually the last list of games right here. It's kind of sad. We have Sifu, which is one of my favorite, and I'm not sure if you could technically call this an indie game, but smaller developer game. It's basically just like a kung fu game. You kind of are just a kung fu master, but with a little bit of a twist that every time you die in the game, you actually age in the game. So you start the game, I think, as like a 21 or like a 20, 18, 19-year-old kid. I call it a kid. And each time you don't make it, you age by 1. Sometimes it gets multiplied, and then throughout the game, you, I guess, try to beat the game without, being a 79-year-old man. So, or you can actually play a woman too, which is really cool. But there are ways in the game you can sort of alter that and change that. It's a pretty fun style of game, and one of my favorites, like I said. Rainbow Six Siege. I hate Siege. I'm the worst player ever. You guys have seen me play Rainbow Six Siege a couple times before in the past, and it's very cringe because I'm not good at that style of game. This is the game down that kind of reminds me of it. I am Bread. It's a video game where you play as a piece of bread. That's about it. This really cool little shot here is Marvel's Avengers. Yes, this is Lego Marvel Avengers. It is Age of Ultron on here. Or I guess I should just say Ultron, but the Age of Ultron movie. I don't know if the entire Lego game is based off of Age of Ultron. I don't remember. I'm assuming it is, because this is obviously Ultron, which is a character I would love to see return to the MCU sometime. I don't remember this game at all. There's another Lego game I'm way more of a fan of, but this one, not a big fan of. I'm really hoping that they actually make some more Lego Marvel games the way they make another one that we're going to talk about later. We have EAFC, which you guys have seen it many times on the channel. I love the foot drafts. I love doing drafts for FIFA, or I guess EAFC, I should say. It's one of my favorite game modes in any sporting game ever. I wish NBA 2K would do a draft game mode. It doesn't seem like it's going to be in the newest game. So again, 2K is just letting me down again. Who would have thought? Last list here with NHL 24. There's actually a free-to-play game. Actually, a lot of these games, guys, by the way, are free-to-play games. I do not buy all these games. I know some people are saying, oh my god, Jake, you're spending all your money on video games. LOL. These, a lot, like a 70-60% of these games are free. Okay? Anyways. NHL 24 is obviously just the NHL style of 2K, Madden, EAFC, but hockey for the sport. Not a big fan of hockey, but the game is actually really fun, just like checking people, getting into fights, scoring goals. It's a lot of fun, but it's actually a really challenging game. Valorant here. Valorant is a recent game that came to console. It used to be only a PC game. And this, guys, might be my favorite game I'm playing right now, besides some of the other ones you've seen before, like playing Red Dead Redemption 2, Fortnite, all those other random ones. I've been playing it a lot. I'm not good. I'm not saying I'm good at all, but it's definitely a game I've been putting a lot of time on and just trying to improve. I love the abilities, I love the characters, I love the gunfighting in the game, like the style of how you play and traverse through the game. I actually really enjoy it, and yeah, maybe I'll make more videos on it. Probably not. You guys aren't really enjoying the video game content recently, so I'm not going to be playing a lot of video games on the channel that much anymore, but just know I'll be playing some video games. Valorant will be one of them. The Lego game I was talking about was obviously this one with Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, which is an entire Lego game that just has every single Star Wars movie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all in one game with voice acting and different side quests and so many characters, and it's kind of even like an open world style of a Lego game, because you're going to travel to each individual planet. It's crazy. It's fun. I really hope they make like a Marvel version of this, and I think they will one day, because actually the gameplay isn't you just mashing square like a lot of the other Star Wars games, Lego games I should say, but man, I really enjoy this game. Actually, I don't think a lot of people do though. And the most recent game, which is actually a game I downloaded for a video that, again, you guys didn't really like, and I will never be playing that again for the channel, but I've actually been playing it by myself on my own free time, is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And is it a scary game? Not really. There's a lot of jump scares that get me because I'm just a nervous and anxious person in the first place, but it's not like an eerie, spooky game like a Resident Evil style of game would be. It's been fun. I've been playing it. I've almost beaten the game, at least I feel like I have. But, yeah, this is definitely worth it. Again, this is also free to download, so I did not pay to play a Five Nights at Freddy game. That would make me feel kind of weird. Well, no offense. Anyways, guys, that is it. That is the last game on here. You guys have been scrolling through this with me for weeks and months, and we finally have reached an end of video games. Now, I didn't mention at the start of this video, there could be a way that we actually continue this series, and that is actually maybe every couple weeks, maybe once a month, we actually take a look at some of the games that will be involved with the PlayStation Store. Like what games are on sale, new games coming up, like of course Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming August 30th through the September 4th. Oh, it's early access beta, never mind. It's not coming yet, but very soon. Call of Duty. Well, they have a new Dragon Ball Z coming out with Sparking Zero. If you guys want me to do a series of this, maybe every once in a while, just talking about the upcoming games that are coming out soon. I do know that Wukong has been really on a lot of people's radar. Here's obviously, of course, NBA 2K25. Will I be playing it? Maybe. Star Wars Outlaw. Have I played it yet? No. Do I want to? Not really. Maybe I could talk about that in another part of this little series. Madden 25. Oh my god, college football. You guys wanted me to play this game so bad. Anyways, as you guys can see, there's a lot of stuff we can definitely talk about in some upcoming videos. Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed game. I think that could be kind of fun. So, if you guys want, you know, potentially not a finale of this video, make sure you do like the video, comment down below to give this video some love. Again, let me know what games you are excited about, excited in the future, a game that you liked when you were sitting here watching, scrolling through my video games with me, and yeah, maybe this one will have to be a finale. I love ya, and I'll see you again in another ASMR video.